Support TOO, welcome live from the homelands of the Occoquan and on demand as a podcast. It's Thursday, December 4th, 2025. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. Gunavchi, Shawa, Tox Gnusum, Salamat. Thank you for joining the conversation. You can also join us on our live stream on YouTube at ktoo.org/ Today, our gallery review continues with the Loadstone Library. They are hosting a gallery walk event featuring artist Fubao. We find out about this community space and what Fubao has in store this Friday. Alex Pierce, the Juneau Visitor Industry Director, breaks down how you can help direct the fees collected from cruise ship passengers each year. Recent projects include park improvements, increased bus service, and free public Wi-Fi. We'll find out how you can submit ideas. Deborah and Linda from the Juneau Commission on Aging are here with updates for seniors during the holidays. And UAS closes out its Evening at Egan series on Friday, December 12th with its WinterFire Showcase, which highlights faculty-created and directed work. We'll have a preview. Those conversations coming up this hour on Juneau Afternoon.
Hanson Gress, Ka eat with the shu yi, we kashuk a yitin. Jin kat ka ke jin ta khanakaya ha anikak, gunnish cheesh.
You are listening to community-supported Juneau Afternoon on KTOO at 104.3 Juneau, 91.7 Juneau Ocbay, and online at ktoo.org. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. You can also join us on our live stream today on YouTube and Instagram. Just go to KTO's pages on there and you will see us. And you can even leave a little comment if you want. Loadstone Library and Lounge, located at 299 North Franklin, it's at 3rd Street in Franklin, is a nonprofit volunteer-run space that offers a gathering place for mind, body, and spirit wellness. And this Friday, they welcome artist Fubao into their space for a slideshow of recent adventures. I'm joined now in studio by one of the co-founders of Loadstone Library, Leslie Kalbrenner. Gunavchi, Swasiyati, Leslie, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much. I love being on the radio, and I haven't had a chance to talk about Loadstone on the radio yet, so thank you for having me.
I know, I'm so excited to hear. And then we also have your featured artist for this Friday. Fubao is in the house.
Thank you.
Fubao.
Thank you.
And of course, we have Fubao's manager and all-around expert person, Claire Pavia, otherwise known as Fubao's mom. Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome in. So good to have you both here. You can go to loadstonelibrary.org to find out more about Loadstone Library. You can also hit up and see images from Fubao's work at photosbyfubao.com. That's Fubao, Fubao, photosbyfubao.com. So, Leslie, you and your sister, Patty, or Patricia, as some people know her.
Or PK.
PK, some people know her. She's a former KTO employee
right.
from many years ago. And you started and founded Loadstone Library. So why and how did this come up?
Why and how? Yes. Well, it's interesting to reflect and track because it's been such an evolving process. We founded the nonprofit so Loadstone Library is kind of the first manifestation of the nonprofit that we started in 2021 called Green Ray Center. Green Ray refers to the heart.
Okay.
So the idea being things come in from the universe, the energy comes in from the universe through the antenna of the head, right? The earth energy, electromagnetic energy comes up through the feet. this energy meets in the heart, and it goes out of your heart and into the world to create some kind of change, high frequency, low frequency, depending on your intention, right? So we're interested in high frequency, positive change in the community through the 5 pillars. So the 5 pillars are physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, any or all. So the idea of the nonprofit is if you're a person or a group who's looking to create change in any of those areas, you're welcome within the nonprofit. The space we created, Loadstone Library, is kind of a small space. We would love to have a larger event space eventually, but right now it's a cozy little spot, and you can come get tea or coffee all by donation. We have cookies for sale. We have a wonderful lending library that's growing by the week as more and more people find out about us and donate books from their own libraries. And it's a space to hold conversations that might generate new ideas in any of these areas. Just bringing people together, helping network. You have an idea or you're in an area of focus, let's help you find other people that are doing similar things.
So if I have a person that I want to just chat with, I can say, hey, meet me at Loadstone
Meet me at
Library.
Loadstone, exactly.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and it's all self-serve too, which is kind of fun for people, I think. You can you go in and make your own teapot, you ring yourself up on our Square reader, or you just shove cash in the jar. And
I love it.
Yeah,
it's community-oriented
right.
space, and it's interesting because this summer I was at a workshop, and the idea of community was talked about, and it's really interesting because you can talk about having community or being in a community, but really community is like creating a space, right, where things can happen, and you've done that, which is kind of great.
It's very bizarre because it's when you start a project like this, you have all of these images in your head, and it feels like you're creating it. But very early on, and parents might resonate with this, very early on you realize that this is a creature of its own design, and it kind of it's been evolving beyond any of our own imaginations, and it's its own entity.
Yeah.
And it's kind of informing us what it is.
Becomes like a living organism.
Right.
Almost. Yeah.
Right. It's like this. It's created from all the minds that are involved. So like literally every time somebody walks in the door and has something to say, it'll reach out and absorb that and become that. So it's a very bizarre experience, and it's.
When did you and Patty or PK decide to open this? When did you open?
Well, we had an office space in Lemon Creek, and we had all of our own books there. And Patty has a tarot business, and so a lot of her clients would be coming into the space and going, "Oh, what are all these books? And I've got books. Can I donate?" And so early on, we had an overflow of books, and so that was the first moment of like, "Oh, is this a lending library?" And that kind of works with what we're doing. And then we found our space downtown, and from there, it immediately took off. Before we even opened, we had people getting involved, but they were just peering in through the windows going, "What is this? Can we be whatever this is, we want to be a part of it."
And so, was that this spring or
no, it was the fall of 23.
23, you opened the Loadstone.
We had our books in the space.
Okay.
And then it was kind of this slow, we had a soft launch, gallery walk. We kind of see gallery walk as our birthday every year,
there you go.
kind of our anniversary. And so that was the first moment we opened the doors to any kind of public. But then it took a while to have enough volunteers to have any kind of consistent hours.
Yeah.
And then also to have the coffee and tea situation was a slow build. And
so
then,
let people know what the hours are, because I know, like I mentioned, it's a volunteer-run organization, so it's not open all the time. Tell me what the hours are.
Right. So I would have to go day by day because it's a little bit off.
Yeah.
Wednesday is our day that we're fully closed. So that's the one day that we are not open. But currently Mondays we're also not open just because we don't have volunteer coverage right now. Tuesday 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thursday 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday 10 a.m. to midnight.
Whoa.
We have a volunteer that likes to keep it open till midnight. Saturday 10 to 3. Sunday 2 to 6. And this is all on our Instagram page. That's the best way to get updated hours. Or if like this week, we had to be closed because we were recovering from public market because the entire shop basically left to go to public market. So it's been taking longer than we wanted to get everything back into the space. And so things like that. If you want to know whether we're open that day or not, Instagram is a great way to check. But those are our general hours.
What's the @
At Loadstone Library.
Loadstone Library. Okay. And
LODE Stone.
recovering from public market because this Friday you're going to have this guy in the house.
Gallery
Fubao is
walk.
going to be there. Gallery walk is
So
happening. So tell me why you wanted to have Fubao in the space.
Oh, Fubao is a friend of Loadstone. He's been coming through, and he understands what we're doing there. He's the exact type of person that we want in the space. And also, we've just been friends through. My mom has worked with Fubao for years, and it felt right to have him for public market and have his slideshows in there and bring his crowd into Loadstone and see if there's any overlap there.
Yeah, that's really nice. So Fubao, what are we going to expect on Friday? I heard you're doing a slideshow of recent adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, let me turn you up. There you go. Go ahead.
You may not know, but this is a big deal for me because I put up flyers everywhere to help. I put up flyers every single boat in town, from Valley to Douglas to uptown to downtown.
The bulletin boards, you've just been plastering them.
Yep. The flyer shows about my adventures on around Southeast Alaska.
Okay, around Southeast Alaska. Now, I have your poster here for the live stream folks who might be tuning in, but I also see that we have a picture of you in action. Are we going to see some of these pictures of you in action? Like
Yes.
you taking photos? Because I'm sure while you're taking photos, your mom is taking photos, right? Documenting you doing this work.
True.
True.
This is a big deal that I really want to support Loadstone. I want to just as many people as we can just turn out.
Yeah, turn out, jam pack it, right?
Jam pack it.
And is there a specific time that the slideshow is going to begin?
4:30 to
4:30
7.
to 7. Oh, so you're going to have the slideshow going.
It's just going to keep rolling.
Keep rolling, and then Fubao will
then-
talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, and Fubao, if people have questions, people can come up and ask Fubao, or he'll have his calendars. He'll have his brand new magnets that just
Magnets, look at those.
just came out.
Awesome, I love that. Magnets adding to, because you have cards and calendars and all that kind of stuff. What's your
Right.
favorite month in your calendar this year, Fubao?
January of 2027, decided a boat calendar.
Oh, okay, I see. That's going to be so cool.
But
Yeah.
and usually for May, he picks one of his favorites because that's his birthday month. So
Ah,
and that's
I
Pack
see.
Creek wetlands, and we've been to Pack Creek many times,
times.
and you'll see some slideshows of him
Nice.
at Pack Creek, and you'll even see his first sailor experience when he was just a little tyke. So it's
Oh,
lots
nice.
of-
Get some history,
yeah,
some
lots
Fubao
of-
history.
Lots of slides, and then also some of his community activities. You'll see a couple of slides from when he was doing stuff with Special Olympics Alaska.
Right.
So you'll see a variety of things.
That's awesome. Now, is this going to be a one-day only thing? It's just for gallery walk?
Yes.
Are you going to keep some stuff around of Fubao's after that?
I don't. Yes.
Well, no, it's
No,
up to
no.
Leslie to answer.
That's all good. They're figuring it out.
Yeah. Well, we have a little art box in Loadstone already with some of Fubao's
Oh, great.
art cards or photo cards, and hopefully can we have some of your magnets in there too,
Yeah.
Fubao? I think it's gonna
Anytime.
be if you come to Loadstone.
Negotiation
Yeah,
happening
yeah,
live on air.
yeah. So Gallery Walk, you'll get to meet the artist, and then we'll definitely continue to carry his amazing photographs.
Excellent. We'll make Loadstone a stop on your adventures for this gallery walk
That's right, cookies and tea.
2025.
Yeah,
Loadstone Library. I'll get to you in just a sec, Fubao. I want to just hear about the name. Where did Loadstone come from?
Lodestone. Lodestone is a very interesting mineral. It's also known as magnetite. So it's a type of rock that if it gets struck by lightning, it will magnetize. And historically, it's been used for compasses. So you can rub a compass needle on some lodestone and magnetize your compass needle. Or if your compass has gone askew, you can rest it on some lodestone.
Get yourself back to true
That's
north.
right. Are we getting the layers of metaphor here,
Yeah, I
Boston?
see it. I see it. Okay, Fubao, close us out. What do you want to say?
Don't miss out. If people want to volunteer, stop and offer to volunteer. So this is a volunteer organizations, please fill out a application to volunteer.
Absolutely.
Just turn out and say hi to Leslie and I. Say hi to us and have fun. Happy holidays.
Excellent.
Jam-packed.
Gary Walk this Friday, Fubao over at Loadstone Library. You can hit up Loadstone Library. It's LODE Stone Library. That's on Instagram, or they have a website, loadstonelibrary.org. It is a nonprofit. And also you can go to photosbyfubao.com to find out more about magnets, I guess, and also everything else that Fubao offers. It's always a pleasure to have you in here, Fubao.
Thank you.
today.
And can I say something?
Yeah.
That's just packed it.
Let's get it jam-packed for sure.
150
Love it.
Gallery
people.
Walk party.
Gonna cheese. Thank you, Claire. Thank you,
Guinness
Leslie.
cheese.
Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Boston.
You're
Thank you,
listening to
Boston.
Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Alaska Airlines Club 49. Membership information available at club49hub.com.
You're listening to KTOO's Tlingit Word of the Week. This week's word comes from Kushtaq Bill Fawcett. And the word this week is Tawe.
Tawe,
That means mountain sheep. And here's a sentence.
Tawa Siku Tawe,
I want a mountain sheep. Let's hear it again.
Tawe,
Mountain sheep. Gunas Chish Chune Lance Twitchell, Goldbelt Heritage Foundation, and the University of Alaska at Southeast for this audio.
Kushtaq Ish Bill Fawcett was Slukach Adi and the child of a southern Shoshone man who passed away before Bill was born. His and enjoyed working with them answer difficult questions about the language.
Yeah, wow.
When the days grow heavy and the world weighs you down, I wish I could take you away and set us adrift out on a raft in the middle of a silver lake, and we'd float like a bird on the wing, like a melody faint in the back of your mind, afloat in the arms of the waltz across the Milky Way till we lose our time. What if we left it all behind and lived at the edge of the world, where the maps are blank and nobody knows the names of what we might find, and we'll
This
drift
is Juneau
like a
Afternoon from your
bird
listener-supported KTOO public media station. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. That is the Heists, who were live here on the red carpet stage. Congratulations to the Heists for just getting a Rasmussen $10,000 grant to help complete their album. So congratulations to them. There's a bunch of other Juneau folks who were also in there getting awards, individual artists awards. Glad to see those are back. Each year, the city and borough of Juneau collects something called a marine ship passenger fee. I hope I have that correct. And then these funds are used to work on projects in and around the city, and you have a say in what those funds are potentially used for. Past projects include improved bus service, improvements to parks, public Wi-Fi, and more. And I'm here with Visitor Industry Director Alex Pierce. And also I have Phil Hibshin from the new Communications and Engagement Department at CBJ. They're going to help us break it down further and inspire you and let you know where you can offer up your ideas. Gunath Cheesh, welcome in. Wasiyati, how are you today, Alex?
I'm well. How are you?
I am excellent. Ready for gallery walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for once, that's not what I'm here to talk
I know.
about.
I was like, you
I know, right?
here for, but today, not so much. You have a whole new position, but still in communications and engagement, getting people out to do the things. So some people don't even know about this, Alex, this marine passenger fee. I know we just had an article come out on KTOO. You can go read that article, which goes into a little bit more detail. But you're here live.
Yeah.
So what is this fee and how is it used and why do I get a say?
So we have a fee that we collect from every passenger who comes off a cruise ship. And if we want to get really granular about it, it's actually 3 different fees, but it adds up to $13 a passenger. And these fees are restricted by the U.S. Constitution and how we can use them. So they need to serve the vessels and their passengers as much as we would love to use them for things like public utilities and streets. We really can't because of the nature of the fee. In 2016, we were sued by the cruise lines over our use of fees. That resulted in a settlement agreement compromise in 2019 that lays out how we can use those fees. And the reason for that ultimate agreement was that the lawsuit kind of found like, yeah, you can charge a fee, but it needs to serve the cold hard steel of the vessel. Of course, human cargo moves around, kind of unpredictable, needs to use bathrooms, needs to use crosswalks. Lately, a lot of them have been using transit. So we've reached a compromise on how the fees could be used to not only offset the impacts of the visitor industry, but also provide public infrastructure that supports the visitor industry. So some of the things that we've done in the past are like, we're going to start construction on Marine Park in the fall. That we're completely rebuilding Marine Park. That is a marine passenger fee project. The Seawalk, we're doing a bunch of improvements to the Seawalk. We're extending it from the Franklin dock down to the rock dump. That's all passenger fee money. You will probably see a new public restroom in the passenger fee budget this year. And then we've also used it on things like enhanced capital, extra funding for capital transit with the number of visitors going to the glacier and things like that, the crossing guards, visitor services. So needs to have that nexus on our website, which you can find under juneau.org/tourism. And there's a marine passenger fee link. You can find the submission form. It's a web form. It asks you to read the settlement agreement, which I think really spells out for people how the fees can be used, and then also shows the mapped area where they can be applied as a result of the settlement agreement. So lots of information there.
That's helpful because I was imagining that it could be used for anything, but it really, when you're thinking about it and you want to submit an idea, you want to be thinking about things that can help us local, but also that are going to be used in that sort of realm of people coming off the ships potentially, right? So it's like public Wi-Fi. I love the increased bus route one, right? Because more people were taking the buses out to Mendenhall, things like that. So when you're thinking about it, that's the kind of project that you want to submit, right? And I do think, I just had on the CCFR and their new idea with the 911 app, the defibrillator thing. That's part of a marine passenger fee
marine
thing
passenger
too, right?
fee funded thing, and
which will also help the community. There's going to be an app that you'll be able to see all the defibrillators in town, and people can sign up and let them know where the defibrillator. We have one here at KTOO, that kind of thing. So that's going to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of people when they think about the marine passenger fees kind of view it as a one-sided Venn diagram, you know, which isn't really the case because the overlap between things that serve the cruise ships and their passengers and what can also enhance local quality of life is like that overlap is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit of a practice to start thinking about it under the right kind of criteria.
And when do we have until to submit ideas on the website?
So you have until January 1st. And by city code, we are required to put it out for public submissions for the month of December. And then later on, we put the budget out, the passenger fee budget out for public review. The passenger fee is the result of a ballot initiative, and that was the language. And so that's the process that we follow. So lots of public engagement on this one, kind of baked into what the public voted for, and I believe it was 1998.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
been
come up
around.
with your ideas. Hop over to the CBJ website, the tourism area. You'll see a link for the winter passenger fees. That's not what it's called. It's the marine passenger fees.
We wouldn't be collecting very much money on
I also,
winter passenger
if
fees.
it makes it easier for people, I did some web testing, and if you just Google marine passenger fees Juneau, it is the first link that comes up.
That's
So you
usually
just-
how it works
Yeah.
with the city websites is find a way to just Google it, put in your other or your favorite search engine, and it will pop up. There's so many services like that because government websites, for some reason, can be extremely long and complicated.
We're working on fixing that, right,
Is
Phil?
it some unknown reason?
Let me see if I can talk to somebody in the communications and engagement department. Phil.
I'll be on it at a later date to talk about that more in depth, probably.
Excellent. Okay. And what else is going on in the tourism arena?
Well, we're kicking off the Visitor Industry Task Force on December 17th at noon. We will get public notice out with the Zoom link. I believe it's already on the CBJ
It is,
calendar. And the Visitor Industry Task Force, for people who've been around a few years, may remember we did a task force in 2019 that looked at a number of different tourism management charges. The mayor formed a task force and issued a charge for that task force that was adopted by the Assembly. And that task force came up with a whole host of great recommendations for how we can improve tourism management in our community. And we delivered the final report in like the last meeting in the Assembly chambers as the world shut down. So we picked it back up, dusted it off, implemented pretty much everything that task force asked us to accomplish. So now we're back again. It's been 5 years. Things have changed, and it's time for kind of a new strategic direction. So we have a few returning members. We have some new members, and they're going to be tackling some of our major tourism issues, and Phil and I will be your staff liaisons to that. So if you're engaged in that process, you'll be seeing a lot of us.
Yeah.
And if I am a member of the public, but I'm not on the task force, how can I be involved, Phil?
So the meetings are all public meetings, so you can definitely queue in and watch them as they proceed. The first one is on December 17th at noon.
Yes.
And like Alex said, it is on the CBJ calendar, so you can find all the information there. But then there will be a couple instances throughout the whole process where public is invited to give comment on the record, and they will be able to share their thoughts and ideas about what directions the task force should take things in at those times. We haven't quite decided when that will be yet. It's pending a little bit of scheduling with the task force members, but that will all be communicated appropriately in time.
Yeah.
And did your web investigation also include Googling visitor industry
It
task
didn't,
force
actually,
Juneau? And does that come up with a page?
That is all information that's available through the city clerk's office.
Okay.
So if you go there and click on the CBJ calendar meeting calendar link, you'll see all the information like on sequential dates, and it is on the 17th.
Excellent. Okay.
At noon on Zoom, and this meeting will be virtual only. It's really a intro meeting for the task force members. It's, hi, welcome to the task force. Here's what you've agreed to do.
Here's what you've gotten yourself into.
Here's what you've gotten yourself into.
Yeah.
And then also discussing scheduling and logistics and what the meetings will look like and when. So we'll kind of come in with a draft schedule and adapt that schedule. And then once we have that information, we'll probably kick off the real meetings, the meetings where they're actually discussing issues in January.
Okay, excellent. Well,
and those will be hybrid meetings, so people will be able to attend those in person.
Attend those in person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone should absolutely show up to the meetings they want to show up to, but I would say start in January. The first one's going to be like very orientation.
Tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Why did you get on this task force? But it is an interesting thing because the visitor industry is a huge conversation in this town for so many reasons. And it is vital to the economy here in Juneau, and there's always things about managing that, both good and bad, and that's what the task force will help out with. And we appreciate your work, Alex, in continuing to do the things that you do.
Well, gosh, thank you.
Because I'm sure that can be difficult sometimes. Phil, thank you so much, Cheese, for coming in today. Alex, thank you so much again. You can go to your favorite search engine and put in the Marine Passenger Feed Juneau and give your feedback on projects that you think could be potentially useful with the marine passenger fees. I think it was in the article, I think it said something, there's like $22 million available for projects. So put your brain caps on, put your thinking caps on, come up with some ideas, go submit, and then also be on the lookout for the Visitor Industry Task Force information. Is there an email list I can sign up for, or is that something that we could request for later?
That is something we can absolutely request an earmark for later.
We're working on it.
I love it. When Phil comes back, we'll find out more about that. Goodness Cheese for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Heritage Coffee Roasting Company, providing Juneau with locally roasted coffee for over 40 years, with cafes and drive-through locations throughout Juneau. More at heritagecoffee.com.
Hi, this is Katie Bosler with 49 Writers, and this is a Juneau Afternoon Calendar Delight. We'll be hosting our annual holiday gathering and reading, Friday, December 12th, 2025, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Rookery Cafe in downtown Juneau, featuring Alaskan author, screenwriter, poet, and professor Don Reardon. Please bring your best writing of any genre and sign in to read your work aloud up to 4 minutes. Snacks and beverages available for purchase. Pay as you can to support 49 Writers. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you, and Gulnash Chish.
You are listening to Juneau Afternoon from Studio 2K at KTOO, dedicated to Carolyn Hobbs Peterson. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. The holidays are here, and I've got one amazing reindeer. I thought I was going to have two, but I only have one. So I have Prancer with me today. I was going to call you Dancer and Prancer, otherwise known as Linda Kruger and Deborah Craig, but Linda couldn't make it today, from the Juneau Commission on Aging to share some updates for seniors of all ages about what's going on this holiday season and beyond, potentially. Gunath Cheesh, welcome in. Wasiyati, how are you today, Deborah?
I'm well, Boston. Thanks so much for welcoming us here. Welcoming me here.
Yeah,
Linda's
welcoming
not
you.
here.
Yeah.
I'm used to saying us. And what I wanted to share today, it's kind of interesting because we had a big plan to talk about planning because we've been very engaged with the age-friendly community plan, and we've been working with the CBJ with regards to the CBJ's comprehensive plan. We've been doing some exercises with them and submitting our information to ensure that it makes it into the plan. And that's an ongoing priority for us. And I wanted to actually give a shout out to the CBJ and ask people in the community if you're interested in what happens in Juneau in the future and our livability. Please check out the website on the CBJ for some of those comprehensive planning events. They're super fun. I went to one of their activities recently. We had a planning game where we had to solve some of Juneau's problems, just a bunch of people sitting at a table. And it was really, truly a blast. So I really encourage people to engage in that. But our other area of emphasis is wellness and recreation in Juneau. And the JCOA and the Mountain Village Sangha are going to be hosting some seniors from the Pioneers Home to go to the Juneau Holiday Symphony. We're trying to help some seniors break out of their regular holiday schedule. And what it really made me think about in terms of interacting with the Pioneers Home was when my mom was in care. My mom passed away this year, but for a couple years before that, she was in nursing care. And it was tough. It was tough. I mean, she was in a beautiful place like the Pioneers Home. She had lots of services and lots of activities, but she really wanted to be around people. And loneliness is a thing. It's a thing even in a big institution. And so it made me think about some of the stuff that we talk about in terms of loneliness. And loneliness is a killer, literally. Loneliness and social isolation are associated with increased blood pressure, higher cholesterol levels, depression, suicide. It increases your risk of premature death by almost 26%, which is what a weird data point. And it's comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Loneliness is comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's more dangerous than obesity, lack of physical activity, and air pollution.
Wow.
So our session today is going to be about reaching out because winter is hard for a lot of people. It's not just hard for the elders, it's also hard for younger people. And so this is a time of year when we need to reach out. It's dark, it's cold, there's difficulty driving. And I want to ask people in the community to advocate for a senior in their life in particular. And I came up with kind of this little laundry list of things little ideas that you could do to reach out to a senior or anyone in your life, anyone that you think might want to have a friend. This is our Santa's list for a senior friend. First one is get creative. Send seniors a card. I just received my first Christmas card. I saw that you had some Christmas cards out front. Nobody sends Christmas cards hardly anymore. It's true. It's kind of like a lost art. So what do you get in the mail? You get all this mail from people asking you for money for political causes, for social causes, whatever. I get tons of mail. So I love getting an actual card with a stamp on it with somebody saying, hi, I'm thinking about you. And it doesn't cost a lot of money to send mail. It's just really good fun. I just recently got mail from a friend who was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. And I thought, here's somebody who's a real journalist and very, very active and very busy, and yet she still has the time to reach out with a card because she knows how important that is. The other thing we wanted to encourage people to do is to think about sending flowers. And in a lot of places, you can't send real flowers. And so I came upon these are paper flowers.
I love it.
I know. You don't have to water it. Long as you let them, they might need a little dusting. In my mom's home, love this. And I found one place where you can find them in Juneau. Hope they don't sell out already because I've already gotten some. But the hospital gift shop has these beautiful paper flower arrangements that you can give to people that are in care or that don't have the capacity to maybe water and take care of plants or anything. It's a great way to spread some cheer.
It's a lovely gesture.
Yeah. And I have a good friend too, Michaela, who cooks for her grandmother. Whenever she cooks anything, she makes a double batch so that she can give her grandmother home cooked or baked items or whatever. So if you're making something, everybody's cooking this holiday season, make a little extra and take it over to a neighbor or a friend. I'm a baker, so I'm always passing out loaves of sourdough bread. It's kind of random. It's not just for the holidays, but people seem to appreciate it. The other thing we talked about is getting practical. Offer to check or install batteries and smoke alarms. Offer to go to somebody's house and help them with stuff, even pull out the Christmas decorations and help them put them up. Because as people age, they don't have the mobility that they used to have, and it's harder to get out when it's dark and it's cold. So help with the trash bins, clear the sidewalks. I have a friend, Bart, who's in care in Tucson, Arizona. He's well known here in Juneau, Bart Kohler. And one of the things that has been particularly cheering for him is somebody put bird feeders up outside his window, and it reminds him of being in Juneau because he always had bird feeders in Juneau. So
That's
put a bird
lovely.
feeder up for somebody. Get out of the house. We offer to. We're suggesting that you offer to take a friend for an afternoon drive, or go out the road. You know, for people that have not been able to drive for a while, or have been in care, or have been stuck in their homes, and they're not driving anymore, or it's too far to drive, or they don't have the right tires, driving out to Eagle Beach is a blast. It's just an incredible, on a nice day, if we ever get a break. We've had some breaks recently with good weather. Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Or take somebody to one of the high school games, the high school basketball games, or share a football game with somebody on TV. And we're also suggesting get in the way and help. Help by returning empty grocery carts at the store. You know, if you see somebody out in the parking lot, grab their cart, take it in for them. Help reach an item on a top or bottom shelf. Take the time to hold the door for an older adult. You know, one of the things I really realized as my mom was aging is that she was less physically able, she was slower, things were harder. When we were going to do something, we planned to start an hour ahead of time because it took her an hour to get herself together, to make sure everything was all turned off. I mean, it took 15 minutes to just check the house because she had to check the house every time. So please be patient with these people during the holiday season, not just during the holiday season, but anytime. Remember, aging is cool. Everyone's doing it.
That's right.
And everyone hopes to grow old, so be as patient with others as you'd like them to be with you when you're aging, and be generous with hugs and smiles. So
That's excellent.
Yeah, what the Juneau Commission on Aging is just inviting people to brighten someone's day with a random act of kindness, and it might brighten yours too.
I love that. And of course, you can put in your favorite search engine, Juneau Commission on Aging. It'll take you to the page. It shows you everything that's going on, all the things that you link to. You really are promoting all the partners that you work with in town. And these are wonderful reminders for the holiday season.
Yeah, we tend to get a little too fast sometimes, right?
Yeah.
A little too busy. And maybe this is the time of year in particular to slow down and smile at people and help people out.
I appreciate it, Deborah. Thank you so much for coming in today. Gwyneth Cheesh.
Thank you, Boston. It's nice to be here.
This is Juneau Afternoon on KTO. We'll be right back with the Winter Fire Showcase from UAS Evening at Egan.
Woo.
I'm Dr. Anthony Lazarowitz, and this is Climate Connections. Many municipalities want to cut carbon pollution and prepare for climate change. But of the nearly 200 local governments in the Cincinnati area, only 3 have a detailed plan to do so. Van Sullivan is with Green Umbrella, a regional climate collaborative that's working to change that. They say a lack of resources and bandwidth is often to blame. Many towns have a small staff to handle everything from budgets to snow removal. So Green Umbrella created the 25 Communities Project. It provides 25 cities and towns with training, funding, and technical support to cut emissions and prepare for climate impacts.
So that the local government doesn't feel like they have to do this work alone.
To boost capacity, participating communities can be paired with a student fellow who will work for 3 months to help them advance their goals. And the initiative will bring the communities together so they can share ideas and partner on projects. Sullivan says the goal is to create a collaborative regional network of local governments ready to tackle climate challenges.
The issues being faced by the communities are similar, and so it's about not only creating individual plans, but creating a culture of climate planning and collaboration that can move forward for years to come.
Climate Connections is produced by the Yale Center for Environmental Communication. To learn more about climate change, visit climateconnections.org.
98, we were Yukon bound. Mile 30, Shield underground. Dawson City, no work to be found. Only trouble when gold by the pound. I'm gonna lie, gonna cheat, gonna steal. I'm gonna fake all the things I can't feel. And when I meet my savior, honey, I will kneel and work this room till I get a better deal.
You are listening to community-supported Juneau Afternoon on KTOO 104.3 Juneau, 91.7 Juneau Ock Bay, and online at ktoo.org. You can also catch out the live stream on KTOO's YouTube and Instagram pages today. No Facebook today. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. That's a little Annie Bartholomew, who was also the recipient of an individual artist grant for $10,000 from the Rasmussen Foundation. A bunch of other Juneau folks also got grants, one of them being a UAS professor. Juneau Lance Twitchell got an award as well. So we have to have a show about that, I think, because there were so many Juneau folks who came in. But part of UAS is also the fall lecture series, Evening at Egan, and it's going to be wrapping up this coming next Friday, not Gallery Walk, but the following Friday. So get your Gallery Walk on and then plan next Friday to go out to UAS for the, you guys want to say it with me, how Karen says it? WinterFire Showcase. Yeah, there you go. I think Lily came up with that originally. Lily Hope, who is a Tlingit artist and also a professor out at UAS. So we have with us a bunch of the performers as well. And maybe instead of me trying to introduce everybody, I'll have you all just say who you are, what you do at UAS, and then we'll get started about what everybody's doing. Let's start over here. We'll go counterclockwise.
I'm Emily Wall, and I teach creative writing at UAS.
Okay.
I'm Elise Tomlinson. I'm the UAS Library Dean.
Okay.
I'm Allison Stodinger. I'm the Associate Dean of Arts and Sciences.
I'm Ernestine Hayes. I'm a retired professor.
All right. Excellent. Thank you so much for you all being here. Now, this has been, I think, the third year of the WinterFire Showcase. And Allison, can you tell me a little bit about how it came about?
Yeah, I think there's always been creative works shared at Evening at Egan, but Karen Silkaitis had the idea that it would be even more exciting to have kind of a panel approach and to get visual art and performing art and written word and poetry in implied dialogue with each other. And then the first one was such a success that we did it again. And then this year we thought, why not go for the three-peat and really kind of extend the Gallery Walk holiday market season with some creative excitement out at UAS.
And is it basically the idea is that it's sort of a faculty showcase, and it's because a lot of times people always think, oh, well, the faculty's, they're not actually still creative, right? But you really are, and especially at UAS. It seems like everybody is so active, so involved. And, I mean, Emily's just had a bunch of shows opening. You have another one tomorrow. I saw that note that you're going to be doing something with Bonnie Lynn Parker for Gallery Walk.
We are, yeah, down at Kindred Post. We're going to have extremely cool snacks.
Awesome. Extremely cool snacks. I like that. And so this is sort of a way to share with the community like the work that the faculty is doing as well. And Ernestine, you said you're retired now, but they got the hooks in you and they bring you they say, hey, come and play, Ernestine.
They reel me in, that's for sure.
So what are you going to be doing for the WinterFire Showcase?
I'm just going to be doing a short reading of some work in progress on my next book.
You have a new book coming?
I'm working on one. I have about 30,000 words now, so I have a little way to go, but I'm shooting for the spring to start submitting it.
Awesome. That is so good. So many great books from Ernestine. It's fantastic. I'm glad that they have you coming and that we get to hear a sneaky peeky, as it were.
Oh, thank you. And I think if they ever do an audiobook, I'll know where to go.
Well, I know you've worked with another person that I know really well, Erin Tripp, who works
That's
here at
right.
KTOO, had done, she did the audiobook for, it was the Tao of Raven.
Yes.
Yeah. But you did your own for Blonde Indian.
It wasn't, well, it was recorded and we offered it to the library and people can just check it out. It's not for sale or an audiobook.
You did it like as episodic kind of a
Yes.
podcast kind of a thing
Yes.
almost. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I remember when we had you on and we had the outtakes from you working on it. And at one point in the outtake, actually, she said, it was just so funny. You were like, who wrote this? Because sometimes writing doesn't necessarily translate to audio, right? Like it's kind of interesting how that works. And Elise, tell me a little bit about what you're going to be sharing on the WinterFire Showcase.
So I'm there really just to support Emily, and we collaborated
Hold
on
on,
the
I don't believe that at all.
No, we collaborated for the recent show at the City Museum together. So I
Okay.
was the painter that did the visual work, and so some of her work was inspired by the visual work, and some of my visual work was inspired by her poetry. And so we were just going to talk a little bit about our collaboration in that regard.
I see. And that was a wonderful show. Emily was on to talk about that. That was the one about the puppies and the dogs of Juneau and Douglas, right?
Yeah, the culture really of how having a pet like a dog and get you out into the community and how it changes your relationship with your neighbors and all of that kind of thing. So it was more than we tried to make it more of a philosophical look at how owning a dog creates community.
I don't own a dog, but I just moved into a new neighborhood, and what's fantastic is I've met my neighbors because of them walking their dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is really kind of cool. So you're going to talk about the collaboration of how you, because I know when Emily was on the show, we were talking about how did you each inspire each other. So you're going to go into detail on that.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hopeful.
Yeah, hopeful. Maybe
We're gonna riff.
Maybe a little bit of the battles that happen too, right? That'd be kind of fun.
We never battle. We're like super compatible for collaboration. So
I love that.
Yeah.
And Emily, so in addition to that, are you also going to be doing other things, or is that your contribution for the showcase?
Yeah, that's me. So Elise and I are going to go up together.
Okay.
And so we thought it would be sort of fun because at the museum show, we didn't really do any kind of presentation because it was First Friday and there's a lot going on.
Right.
So we thought it would be fun just to have a conversation about how we collaborate. And we're hoping to kind of help inspire other people in the community because we've gotten a lot of questions like, how do you work together? You know, what happens kind of. And so we thought that'd be kind of fun to do that on stage.
It is interesting because like Ernestine is a writer, and that sort of happens in, the solo space. Like you're up in your head, or you're with your typewriter or your computer or your longhand. Do you write longhand or do you write on the computer, Ernestine?
I write on my iPad.
On your iPad. Okay, that's kind of cool. Little tippity tap. Do you have a keyboard? Or
Yeah.
Okay, you do have an external keyboard. Wow, that's awesome. But this idea of like how do you, because you're working in like painting and things and you're working in words, and like how does that, inspire each other? I think that's really kind of cool. That's going to be a fantastic presentation. So you're going to have some of the artwork and you'll read some of the poems that go with it and talk about how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then Allison, since Dean Karen isn't here, and also the fantastic Lily Hope isn't here, Dean Karen's also fantastic. You're all fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit about what they are going to be doing for the showcase?
Sure. So I've gotten a little preview of what Karen's going to be doing. I think most folks know that in addition to being our wonderful Dean of Arts and Sciences, Karen is a working actor. Some of you might have seen them in performances in Juneau or in their commercials or TV work. And they have put together a monologue, and like many things that Karen writes, it's both really funny and kind of devastatingly speaks to our times. So Karen is thinking about gender and politics and family and identity. I think there's both going to be some Taylor Swift moments and, not surprisingly, and some scenes set in a Texas airport bathroom. So I think it's going to be very exciting.
Interesting.
I always love to see Karen perform and be reminded of that side of their personality. And Lily's holding her cards close to her chest. I'm not sure exactly what she's going to do. She's floated a few different ideas, but whenever Lily Hope speaks, you always, on one hand, get really exciting, contemporary, creative engagement, whether it's with her Raven's Tail Labubu's or, you know, her work she's done in the community, while also connections to history and connections to the history of woolen weaving and Chilkat and Raven's Tail weaving. So I'm sure it's going to have both of those things, and I'm really excited to see some of the visual work that Lily's going to share with us.
Yeah, I know when Dean Karen's been on before, they've talked about, you know, doing these monologues every year and creating a new one. And so Karen writes them and then gets them, you know, worked up and performed, which is pretty awesome. Now, Allison, I have to ask, are you doing something for the Creative Fire Showcase?
Oh no, I should have tried to push some of my. I have a short story collection I wrote when I was 20 about the fish cannery that I should really pull out of my closet and dramatically read.
Maybe you need to do that thing where you go up to Ernestine and you say, "Will you read my work?" And then she'll say, this should be in the Winter Fire Showcase. Yeah, for sure.
No, this year I will be supporting and applauding and learning. But yeah, sometime it'd be fun to. I mean, I always mean to submit to Title Echoes, and then December is always a hard.
Well, you just missed the deadline for Title Echoes, which was December 1st.
It was, but now that I know you're interested, I'm hunting you down next year.
So let me ask, I know that we got a little preview from Ernestine here about an upcoming book. Does it have a title yet, Ernestine?
The working title is Bury These Stories.
Ooh. That's going to be good. That's amazing, because I love reading Ernestine's work, but I also love Ernestine reading her work or just giving a speech. You always fire me up whenever I hear you talk.
Thank you.
And so I can't wait to read the new book and have you come on the show and talk about it a little bit. And Elise, what's coming up for you?
Right now I'm trying to decide if I should open my studio for First Friday tomorrow. Is next to that little shop with the leather. Other people in that building are open for it. So I'm like trying to get my courage up to do it.
I think you should, because the SEALT, this Southeast Alaska Land Trust, is having their conservation art show upstairs above the Rookery, and you're right above the
We're neighbors, yeah. Our suites are right near each other. So if you're coming to that, you might swing by and maybe my door will be open.
Nah, she's going to be open. Emily's going to talk to her after this and get her to open the studio. That's fantastic. And Emily, what's coming up for you? I know you have tomorrow's First Friday event over there with Bonnie Lynn Parker, but what else are you working on? You working on some new poems?
Always new poems. I'm interested in maybe trying to turn our project into a book. So I think that would be fun if we could get anybody to pick that up. It's kind of on my plate. And then, just always writing. I've been mentoring a little bit with Ernestine. And
excellent.
Yeah, just writing.
Excellent. Well, it's the Winter Fire Creative Showcase. It's December 12th. That's Friday, December 12th at 7 p.m. It's the final Evening at Egan lecture series for the fall. You want to go check it out and see all of these fine professors sharing their wares, as it were. Ernestine, Allison, Elise, Emily, thank you so much for coming on Juneau Afternoon and giving us a little sneaky peeky.
Thanks, Boston.
Good cheese. I really appreciate it. That will do it for today's Juneau Afternoon. On tomorrow's show, Gallery Walk Preview wraps up with Jonathan Swinton Plus, Juneau Symphony is bringing holiday cheer this December and a sneak peek at Mudroom's December storytelling event. Juneau Afternoon airs Wednesday through Friday at 3 p.m. right here on KTO Juneau 104.3 and KAUK Juneau Bay 91.7. You can find the show online at ktoo.org/Juneau Afternoon or live stream archives over on KTOO's YouTube page. Theme music is by Indian Agent. I'm Boston Christopher, producer and host of the program, with help today from Aaron Tripp. Gunath Cheesh. Have a wonderful Thursday Juneau evening.